My first guest tonight is one of the most prolific artists in music today. His new album is entitled North. We are thrilled to welcome Elvis Costello to the show. Thank you for being here.
Lovely to be here, Conan.
Always a pleasure having you. And first of all, congratulations, you are engaged. This is very nice. You're going to get married soon. Engaged to an amazing artist. She's been here many times, Diana Krall. This is fantastic.
Yeah, it's...
And I was...
You think it's fantastic.
You think,
how I feel.
It's much better for you than...
No,
but I'm curious, okay, Elvis Costello, Diana Krall getting married. Here's the problem. Who would have the nerve to be the wedding band? You know, the musician...
Max.
Max would do it. You guys would do it, right?
We are available.
Max.
Unfortunately, you're unavoidably detained elsewhere.
No. They can all go.
You have some very good guitars, don't you?
Yeah, I have a little guitar. I have a Gretsch guitar collection, so I could whip that out and play it very badly.
There's always that.
But these, no, these guys play a lot of...
We're skimp on actually having to pay for a band. We're going to invite a lot of musicians and then just hope that we can press gang them up on the stage.
See, that's the thing, is you know all these famous musicians, so you could invite them all as friends and then say, bring your instrument just for fun, and then make them get up there and play for 2 hours.
That's exactly what I just said, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But by saying it again, I killed more time. I'm always thinking here, see? Now, I want to ask you about something. I heard you say once, and I don't know if this is true, I don't know if you were kidding or not, because you've written many great songs in your day, that songwriting can all be boiled down, that most songs, not even just pop songs, but all songs can be boiled down to 5 basic categories. Is that true?
Yeah, they change all the time, but yeah, it's more or less, I want somebody, I've lost somebody, somebody left, I believe in something. How many is that?
That's 4.
And my dog died.
And my dog died.
That's the country song.
That's the country song, yeah. Wow, so you think about it, most songs are,
really that?
I've lost someone, or you've lost someone, or, Yeah,
we're just monkeys in clothes that you know, dress up our baser emotions with poetry.
How dare you call me a monkey in clothes? Have you ever met the challenge of combining all of those elements into one song? I lost you, you lost me, we both lost someone, my dog's dead. Have you ever thought about putting that all in one song and making the greatest song ever?
I just thought of just trying to beat, you know, there's that great Bobby Bear song, Drop Kick Me Jesus Through the Goalposts of Life.
Oh, that's a great one.
Which covers quite a lot of the bases, or You're the Reason Our Kids Are Ugly. I like that one. Yeah.
I can't wait to sing that to my wife one day. Well, You're the reason my kids are ugly.
I think that's the one that we're guaranteeing won't be played at the wedding.
Yeah, very nice. Don't play that one. You know, I remember it very well when you first came on the scene, and I was getting your records, and I loved your music, and I remembered there was an aura that you were the angry young man in music. Yes, you were. You've mellowed since then. I think you fear me physically, but so you're on your good behavior. But you were the angry young man, and you were a very intimidating figure. How did you act towards other big pop stars at the time? You know, late 70s.
You know, I met David Bowie recently, and I saw him here one night on your show telling tales about things. And
David Bowie comes here all the time.
Yeah, he was very funny on your show. And he said, do you remember once we were both in an Indian restaurant here in New York, and it was completely deserted. It was late in the afternoon, and we sat at either side of the restaurant, and we're just too bloody hip to say hello to each other, you know. We're just like...
So it's an empty restaurant, cool. David Bowie's here, Elvis Costello's here, and you're too cool to talk to each other.
Too cool to even glance over. I was like, oh, these poppadoms are really interesting, and we're sitting alone at 2 tables, so, you know, he remembered it better than I did, actually.
That is so true, that a lot of times people just assume that all celebrities...
They all live in a house together, like monkeys.
Yeah, exactly. Well, reality shows, that's probably coming up next year on Fox.
That's actually made it come true.
But really, we can be quite competitive and, you know, sort of wary of each other. I'm that way with Ryan Seacrest. We're very wary of each other.
I have no idea who that is, but
neither do I. That's my point exactly.
Yeah.
You met Bob Dylan, one of the great singer-songwriters of all time. You met Bob Dylan.
I snuck into his gig. A friend of mine was playing pool in a pool hall in LA, and one of Bob's band invited him to the show, and he was on tour with us, this guitar player, and he came back to my hotel and said, I don't truthfully really like Bob's music that much. Why don't you go and pretend to be me? Mm-hmm. I went up to the Universal Amphitheatre and said the name of my friend, and the girl on the box office recognized me, which was very early days for her to have done that, and she admitted that the tickets weren't there, but then she said, but Barbra Streisand just rang up and said she can't make the show, so you can have her tickets. So I went from...
And just tell people you're Barbra Streisand.
Well, I'd already told them that I was a guitar player, so I mean, that I wasn't. Mm-hmm. So in many ways you might say that I wasn't a guitar player, but so I snuck into the gig, and suddenly I have a bodyguard, and I'm, you know, and then they come and whisper in my ear, when Bob does Blowing in the Wind, that's your cue, and my cue for what? And suddenly I'm backstage and in his dressing room. So I go from not even getting into the gig to being the first backstage.
So did you say something cool to Bob Dylan?
Well, you always imagine that you will when you meet somebody that you've admired, and he walked in the room and he went, hey, I've heard a lot about you, and I said, and I've heard a lot about you too. And it's
oh, no. It just came out, yeah.
It just came out, and also the worst part about it was it sounded like that sometimes people say something a bit disrespectful to you to make an impression, so it sounded like I was making fun of him or something, but he kind of laughed and, you know.
That's what happens, though.
I've been banished.
I've been in that position many times where I get to meet one of the people, just through the position of this show. Maybe I meet them backstage, or I get to meet them at some event, and I've idolized them, I've put them up, and then I meet them, and I always think I'm going to say something very cool and very profound. I always say something like, I like cheese!
Well, I think I only just got away with it.
Yeah, or I'm not gay. Huh? And it's always wrong. It's always a terrible...
It's always wrong. You always think of the really smart thing you would have said later. But that's, you know, that just proves everybody's a human. You know, I was hoping one of these days I'd like to do... You know, like they have these soundtracks on films now where the director tells you all the things he did right and all the things he did wrong, like a director's
They have like
cut.
they have the it's on the DVDs. They have like a narrative. Yeah.
You know what I'd like is like two musicians on the stage, kind of watching the videos that they made and going, why did I ever have my hair like that?
Yeah, yeah.
What possessed me to wear that checkerboard suit? You know, wouldn't that be cool?
Why did I think it was cool to drop a crystal orb at that point in the song and have it shatter in slow motion?
You know, you show me yours and I'll show you mine kind of.
Right,
segment.
right. Just be very honest.
Working into the show, Conan. I don't know.
Who would see it?
Well, there's always that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if this is true. I want to ask you quickly that you like to wear tinted glasses that have colored tinting.
They're just dirty.
But you like to wear colored tinted glasses because they affect your mood. Is that true?
No, I did for a couple of years wear blue. I wore blue glasses till I realized they were actually making me blue, because it's like they say,
depressed you.
Looking through the world, and I don't really need a lot of help with being on the melancholy side. You know?
Right. So what kind of glasses would you wear to cheer yourself up?
Yellow.
Yellow. So yellow glasses just make you happy.
Happy all the time. Look.
Why not one lens blue, one yellow, and you just sort of be insane all the time?
Yeah.
Constantly going up and down.
Yeah, that's a...
I want to mention, don't take any of my ideas seriously. You're doing fine without me,
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'll work that into the next video.
Yeah. North.
If we were going to make any.
Oh, I want to be in the next video.
Yeah.
Naked.
Make it play in the grave.
Just running around in the background naked, it'll just freak out a few people.
I always say, I worked with a director once and said, I always have a dog in my videos. And he was very pretentious, and I said, you're not having a dog in my video unless it's a pathetic dog on a piece of string. How about a pig? And he did actually go and get a pig wrangler.
Wait, a pig is a pathetic dog?
No, I said, no, well, I'll settle for a pig.
Right, and he did it.
He did, and he uttered the immortal words just as we were going for a second take. He said, reset the pig.
Isn't that great? Every now and then you get to hear something like that.
And it was like, I regard that as like the pinnacle of my life in show business.
Because they probably said it in a really pompous tone. Yeah. Reset the pig.
Reset the pig.
That's what makes it all worthwhile.
Call the pig wrangler.
North, this is a departure from your last album. This is actually at the top of the jazz charts right now. Is that right?
It isn't right now, but it was there for 5 weeks, which is the first #1 record I've ever had. So I don't know what I'm doing in the jazz charts.
That's very cool. Well, whatever brung you.
Really, the reason I think they put it there is a lot of the musicians that play on the record are jazz musicians, and it is a vocal record.
What the hell was that? This is like the Grammys when you have so much time to speak and then someone starts to play.
Yeah, they're all love songs, and they're all very quiet, and therefore they're quite a big contrast to my last record, which was a lot of screaming and shouting. And the next record will be another kind of screaming and shouting, and the one after that will be something different. I don't want to stay in one place.
Depending on what glasses you're wearing at the time.
Depending on, actually, the glasses have a lot to do. If you see, I'm wearing those kind of tinted ones on the. Can you see that? You see?
Very nice.
You see, I'm wearing those blue.
Those look like X-ray specs. That's what
they are, in fact, X-ray specs. Where do I hold it up?
There you go. Wherever you hold it, they'll cut away to another camera. There you go.
See, I'm wearing those, and that's why I wrote these particularly melancholy songs. But no, it's a record full of love, songs of different kinds, and of a quiet voice. In fact, I'm going to play one of them later, I believe, unless
you are coming back.
Unless we're running out of time.
No. We are making time
Song
for that.
In New York City, about New York City.
This is, of course, the album is North. It's in stores right now, and you're going to be back later on the show to sing Elvis Costello, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Great to have you. Eliza Dushku coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Stick around.